The Chicago Bears lose to the Houston Texans on Sunday Night Football by a final score of 19-13. So let's talk about that game and what we saw from the Bears. And boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to say. So buckle up, get ready, because I'm about to unleash here. Before I do, if you are new to the channel, you're going to want to hit the subscribe button, guys. I go give my post-game recap after every single Bears game, pre-game, preview before every Bears game, so you don't want to miss out, all right? Just please subscribe. All right, I promise you, you won't regret it. All right, so with that being said, let's hop right into it. All right, so I thought long and hard on how I should start this video, whether to focus on the positives or the negatives. But you know what? Let me start with just the positives here, because there's a lot of negatives that I got to get to, all right? So the positives. You had a chance to win this game. For everything that went wrong in this game, particularly offensively, you still had a chance to drive down the field and win this game. Not even just tie it up, win this game against a very good Houston Texans team. So the fact that you had that opportunity at the very end tells me that, hey, that's a positive for a young football team. Second thing, this defense is still elite. Secondary is very good. C.J. Stroud had a good first half, not a great second half. We were able to stop that Houston Texans offense numerous times. So I still like how the defense looked today, and they still balled out. That's it. That's the extent of the positives, people, because boy, oh boy, the negatives were insane. All right, we'll start with what everybody wants to talk about, which is Caleb Williams, right? How did he do today? 23 for 37 for 174 yards passing, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, Rome Odunze had an opportunity to come down with the ball in the end zone that perhaps he should have caught. It was a little bit more difficult. Certainly it wasn't like the gimme that Keenan Allen dropped in week 1. But it was, attainable for him to go ahead and catch that. So we could be looking at 2 touchdowns for Caleb through 2 games, but instead we got a big fat donut. And we got 2 interceptions now. And, both of them were underthrown, really. And that is where I want to start here. Caleb Williams' accuracy has been garbage through the first 2 games. Not just bad, not just poor. It's been flat out garbage. I have no idea why he is struggling so much with his accuracy. And don't tell me offensive line just yet, because I'm going to get to the offensive line, all right? I'm talking about those plays where he still has time in the pocket. It's not a lot. It's very rare, but when he does, he still is not able to deliver the ball accurately to guys. He missed DeAndre Carter on a deep shot on the left side where he, just for whatever reason, appeared to miss him. And then I talked about the DJ Moore throw where it was underthrown, and so many times where him and the receiver are not on the same page. I mean, the last pass of the game to Rome Odunze, like, what was that? One to DJ Moore on the left side where DJ's going one way, Caleb's the other way. Like, what was that? So the accuracy has been garbage. There's no other way to put it. Even the biggest Caleb Williams fan should tell you that the accuracy has been unacceptable. And it is perplexing because the accuracy was never an issue for him throughout his football career. I mean, that's the thing about Caleb Williams is he's an accurate quarterback, but his accuracy has been bad. So he definitely needs to clean that out. I like the way he started the game. Started the game with poise, with good pocket presence, taking what the defense was giving him. I like that. But then later on, I know obviously the offensive line played bad, and trust me, I'm getting to them. But later on, he was just jittery in the pocket and just missing guys. You just can't miss guys like that. And look, we'll talk about the offensive line here, but you will not always get a perfect offensive line in the NFL, but you still have to be able to deliver the ball accurately. Take a look at how many times C.J. Stroud rolling out of the pocket, right, when the offensive line broke down, rolling to his right, delivering strike after strike to his guy Nico Collins, who tore up the Bears in this game. So you have to be able to go ahead and deliver the ball accurately, even when the offensive line is not playing perfect. And that's just unacceptable that Caleb hasn't been able to do so. Like, the accuracy has been bad. So to me, that was the main thing here. Obviously, he did make some progressions in this game, but I don't think anything's going to be fixed until this accuracy thing is resolved. He needs to be able to start hitting guys and hitting them accurately. All right, let's go to the offensive line here, people. I'm done. I'm done with Ryan Poles not prioritizing this offensive line for the better part of 3 years now. There were people tweeting at me saying, Faiz, you were talking about all these weapons for Caleb, but the trenches, the offensive line is where we really needed to upgrade. And I was telling you, wait a second. I was imploring that we need to upgrade the offensive line going into the season. My biggest worry was the offensive line. I said, nothing is going to matter if we can't give Caleb time and keep him upright. All right? And he was getting rocked today, people. This offensive line was abysmal. If Ryan Poles does not make changes or upgrades this offensive line after seeing this performance, that's negligence on the part of him as a general manager. And I have no idea, absolutely no idea how Ryan Poles, a former offensive lineman, is not able to build a competent offensive line out there. I mean, Nate Davis looked awful. He needs to be benched. Coleman Shelton was terrible. Like, Braxton Jones, not great. Like, Darnell Wright was making penalties. It was not good. This offensive line is not good. And nothing is going to change with this offense until we fix the offensive line. We're not going to have any explosive plays, explosive runs, any sort of chemistry, any sort of rhythm. Caleb's just going to be out there, and he's going to be a body for the other defensive line to go ahead and just bang into him. I mean, he's not going to survive behind this offensive line. So, Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham, what the heck? Go ahead, upgrade this offensive line. Use your resources, use the picks, use the money you have to go ahead and upgrade this line. Because if I have to watch this offensive line for the next 15 games, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. That's malpractice on your number one quarterback, number one pick. So I'm sure Ryan Poles thought, hey, another year and this offensive line is going to show growth. Braxton Jones is going to improve. Darnell Wright's going to improve. Like, I got a center in Coleman Shelton. Tevin Jenkins there. No, it's not enough. All right? And Ryan Bates, don't give me Ryan Bates as, he was not out there, so that's the reason why he's not that good to be able to compensate for the entire offensive line being terrible. So, to me, atrocity. That's what the offensive line was. And until we get that fixed, folks, we're not going to get to see Caleb develop properly. We're not going to get to see this offense play well. Nothing's going to work. All right? And that's why I was saying to you, that was my biggest worry in the offseason. All right? I wasn't the one just saying weapons. I said that's great that the Bears are doing that, but give the Bears and Caleb Williams a solid offensive line. That's how Jordan Love is able to go ahead and develop and play well, even though he doesn't have nearly the receivers that Caleb does. That's how these other quarterbacks out there are able to do so without, having the plethora of weapons that Caleb does. So, Ryan Poles, you watch the game. Go ahead and fix his damn offensive line because it's not good enough. All right, Shane Waldron, you're next. So, the play calling from Shane Waldron today was terrible. All right, terrible. Nothing in the middle of the field, or very rarely. Every other play was a screen or like a bubble screen or a throw in the flat or whatever. Like, nothing vertically, everything horizontally. And I told you guys before this game, you can't run on the Texans. I literally said that in my preview. Go ahead and check it out. You can't run on this team. And we don't even have a bruising big back to run with. We got DeAndre Swift, who's a great pass catching, lateral outside running back. But Shane Waldron continued to run him. No gain. Stop. 1 yard, 2 yard, no gain. Stop. What are you doing, Shane Waldron? What are you doing? I'm not saying you have to drop back Caleb 55 times out there, but after a while, you got to know that this run game is not working. Sprinkle in more Khalil Herbert maybe because he's a better back at that than DeAndre Swift. Or, be able to go ahead and utilize the slants, the short passing game more. Not screens, please. Not screens. Other stuff. So, the play calling, no rhythm, nothing, no cadence, nothing that Caleb could really go ahead and develop properly for the entire game with. Early on, it looked good, but then it completely fell apart. So there was no rhyme or reasoning for the play calling. I don't want to go back to Luke Getsy, but, that's what it reminded me of. So where was the upgrade with Shane Waldron? Right? So to me, 13 points today that the offense put in, it was piss poor play calling. That's what it was. So Shane Waldron really needs to get it together, man. Like, you got to have more in your playbook than just a screen every other play. A screen and a run. A screen and a run. Like, challenge teams vertically. Like, challenge teams in the middle of the field. Get more creative. Get more rhythm. Get more timing for your young quarterback. I believe all these three things basically played a part in it. Caleb's inaccuracy, the play calling being abysmal, and the offensive line being terrible. All three of those together, recipe for disaster. Not success, disaster, okay? And that's what happened today. Even still, with all of those things going terribly wrong, terribly left for the Bears, they were still able to be a touchdown away from winning this game. So I'm not here to say I'm losing hope after the second game of the season, but what I'm here to tell you guys is that the issues are very clear, and Ryan Poles needs to go ahead and fix them. And obviously, Matt Eberflus needs to go ahead and get Shane Waldron to fix his. So it's very clear we got to fix these issues, and we got to get ready for next week. So let me know what you guys think about that, what you thought about this game against the Houston Texans. Man, that was tough to watch. Leave your comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.